Hey guys, today I'm doing a reading wrap up of what I read in July. I didn't read a lot at all this month. I think this whole year this is the least amount of books I've read, but some of them are chunky or hard to get into, so I've done pretty well considering that. Let me show you what I've read. I've got my drink, this little Happy Monkey smoothie, which we're going to use this as a food supplement until I finish. Let me show you what I got. What I read. That is so good. Like, oh my gosh, I love it. First book that I got through was Powerless by Elsie Silver. So in this one, this is Jasper and Sloane. Sloane has always had a childhood crush on Jasper, but he was a bit older, so it was never appropriate. But eventually, as they grew up and stuff, he did start to have feelings for her, and it was a bit like a missed opportunity. Like, it was never expressed to him that she still had this crush. He thought it was just a childhood one, and he never expressed to her that he ended up catching feelings for her, essentially. If I'm remembering correctly, because I did read this at like the beginning of July, but they sort of wasn't in touch as much as they were, and Sloane turns up to the ranch and she's engaged. We see that engagement and her showing up engaged in the book before this, which is Heartless, I believe. We start the book, this is a bit of a spoiler kind of, but we start the book where Jasper meets who Sloane is engaged to. I can't remember his name, but he's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. And she's not getting married for love, she's getting married to the guy because that's what her father wants from her, and it's just good for business essentially for her to get married to him. Jasper helps her escape her own wedding, and then after that you just basically see them getting closer and closer. It's just a cute little romance story that buds between them. I don't want to give too much away, and I probably can't even explain it well enough to give too much away anyway, but it is really cute, it's really nice. I think the first spicy scene was actually, took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it, but again, I feel like spice in the Elsie Silver books, I feel like they're done tastefully. I like spice in a book, but I don't want to see it just for the sake of it being there if it doesn't actually make sense. This has dual perspective, close proximity, like childhood, friends to lovers. I give this probably like a 4 out of 5 for like a romance, because I just feel like romances all follow the same plot. The other book that I read was Fearless, and I love this. Again, like I said before, I love it because like the pink of the actual book when you take off like this sleeve is just gorgeous. We're following Payden, Kai and Kit. I understand now why people did not really like this book. I get it. I loved Powerless and I loved Reckless, and the ending of this, I feel like it felt very rushed, you know, like it just, a lot of things that I felt like could have been maybe expanded on or had a bit more of a story behind it, I feel like it didn't. I don't want to give away spoilers if you haven't read this, but at the end of Reckless you see, I don't know, I feel like everyone probably has read this by now. It came out in like what, January or something, so by now it probably has been read. But we see where Payden comes back, Kai brings Payden back to Kit, and Kit makes a big decision of proposing to her. So this is obviously seeing the following, like the aftermath of all of that. In this we get a discovery, which I had a feeling of this, of Payden is of course an ordinary amongst the elites now. She is now Clark going to be queen of these elites, which obviously they're not going to be happy about because she's an ordinary. And it's just, I had a feeling of something within this book that happened that I just won't reveal. We also see Eldrick, I don't know how you say it, but the Kit and Kai's father, and just a whole revelation about family trees and stuff like that. And then yeah, you just see Kit struggling with ruling, which all at the end becomes clear why he was struggling so much in his sort of thought process. What goes down with Callum, Payden and Kit, I feel like that could have been expanded a bit more. Like, I feel like it was just very fast paced that we find something out and there's no opportunity for the bit of gossip that we found out to get leaked or anything like that. Like, it's just straight, we find that out where there could have been like, say, manipulation or blackmail or something, like straight, it's just we get rid of the person that has revealed something to us. I don't know, I just feel like I didn't really get to see that sort of villain arc play out long enough. Even how the book ended with Kit, I thought fair enough, but you know, right at the very end, the very last page with Kit, I was like, I don't get what's going on. Who are those two people that he's speaking to? But I do know that we've got, I think it's Fearful, which is going to be coming out, which explains, I think should be explaining Kit's story a bit further, because I really kind of want to understand that. Like, I read it and I was like, okay, but I guess where there's another part it will all make a bit more sense. It is still good, like I do still think it's interesting to read, and I would still complete the series, but I can just say like the ending for me felt really rushed, and I don't know, I just feel like things could have been expanded and it could have been better, I feel like, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. And again, the book is gorgeous, and that's all that matters once you finish reading it. Last of the books I've read, and the one that has been on my TBR for probably the longest time, I done a clear out of all my books, and this is one of the ones that I kept that has been on my TBR, and I finally finished it. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Yeah, love the cover of this book. I think it's gorgeous. Got the skyline of London in there. I don't know, it just does look so regal, doesn't it? I love it. I just found like the writing a bit cringe. Like, I don't know, I just found it difficult to read and to get into. It's very much like a Gossip Girl vibe, based in London. These rich kids in London, or rich adults actually, sorry, shall I say, in London. And we're following Magnolia and BJ's relationship. Immediately when you start reading, you can see they've been through a breakup because BJ cheated on Magnolia, and basically the whole premise of the story is seeing them dealing with that. They still have feelings for each other, and it's a constant back and forth, not being able to move on. But BJ is still out here doing him, which still breaks Magnolia's heart, but then Magnolia is still dating other guys as well, and they basically just can't get it together. The ending of it is honestly the most interesting thing. Throughout the whole book, the main thing is that Magnolia wants to know, like, BJ, who did you cheat on me with? And BJ just will not tell her at all who he cheated with, and that's her biggest problem, and that's the thing that's hardest for her, is just not knowing who, or knowing why did you do it as well. At the end, we find out who he cheated on her with, and I must say my jaw dropped. I was gagged when we found out who. I can genuinely say that was the best part of the book for me, was the ending. Do I think that the book needed to be as long as it was? No, I definitely feel like we could have like chopped this book down a lot, just because, like, I'm sorry, but I'm just so bored of the toxicity going on between them, and just constantly having to hear, oh, I love BJ, but then I think I like this person, and then, oh, but BJ, tell me who you cheated with, and BJ, no, I'm not going to tell you, and then you catch BJ sleeping with another girl or touching up another girl, and like, it's just, it was just too much back and forth of the nonsense. Like, let's just be for real. I have been recommended to read the next book, which is Daisy Hates, and we do start to see her a bit in Magnolia Parks. And I believe her family are like the biggest drug lords in London. So that's the next book. I've been told that it's a lot better than Magnolia Parks, but you just kind of got to get through this one. So that's everything that I've read in July, and following all the things I read, I ended up buying some more books. So me and Amazon go together real bad. Like, one thing about me, I'm gonna be on Amazon ordering a book or two. I've had this sitting here and I can't remember what I ordered, so let's see together. I hope this is actually my books. Yeah, it is. Oh, this is big. Okay, we've got Daisy Hates, which is, like I was just saying about the follow on from Magnolia Parks, the next person we follow. The back says, no guns at the dinner table. All 20-year-old Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life. But as the sister of London's most notorious gang lord, she knows better than most that in this life, everything comes at a price. I hate that. I hate that when, like, one book is so much bigger than the other book and they're a series. Oh, that's annoying. But I'm guessing in this one we're going to be following Daisy, and we're going to be following Christian, who we also see in Magnolia Parks. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go. Is it just that her brother's going to be threatening him? Because I don't even know. But still, cute cover, but it's very busy. And I also got, this one's a surprise. I actually don't know which one this is. Oh my gosh, it's like a never-ending bloody postage and packaging. What is this? Ah, the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. And I also got the Songbird and the Heart of Stone from Asda. But this is because I read The Serpent and the King of Night or something like that. Serpent and the Wings of Night, actually. I just wanted to get into the second story of this book. I'll read the blurb. To die rather than killing you, he said quietly. Yes, that would have been worth it. Even I had to draw a line somewhere and draw the line Oraya. In the wake of the bloody tournament known as the Kajari, Oraya is now a prisoner in her own kingdom. She's left with one certainty: she cannot trust anyone, least of all Rain, the vampire who betrayed her, because she is not a vampire. The House of Night too is surrounded by enemies, and Rain's own nobles are none too eager to accept a turned king. When Rain offers Oraya a secret alliance, taking the deal is her only hope of reclaiming her crown and seeking her revenge. But to do so, she'll need to harness an ancient power intertwined with her father's greatest secrets. Ooh. With enemies closing in on all sides, Oraya finds herself forced to choose between the bloody reality of seizing power and the devastating love that could be her downfall. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes as well. I've actually wanted to finish this series, so I'm happy I got this too. And that is actually my book haul. It's actually just 2 books. That is everything that I read in July. A really slow reading month, if I'm honest. And like my 2 new book purchases to follow on from what I finished. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, like, subscribe, whatever. Again, like, if you've read any of these books, especially like Fearless, what do you think the like theory or like the plot of the next book will be? Like, what sort of things do you think they're going to talk about? Or if there's any books that you have read based off of like what I've spoke about that you think I'd like, please let me know as well.